I don't know about you, but in the last couple of months, my social media feed has been inundated by this company called Interstellar Audio Machines. And their one pedal, the Octonaut Hyperdrive, which is becoming one of the most talked about, or if you will, hyped about, overdrive pedals out there. Well, today we're going to find out what the buzz is all about with the Octonaut Hyperdrive, as well as the company's other two colorfully named pedals, the Fuzzsquatch Fuzzdrive and the Marsling Octafuzzdrive. Let's check them out. Interstellar Audio Machines packaging and materials are really cool and engaging. All three pedals come with their own notes, which is really cool, which tells me these guys are like a small company that are really into what they do. So for example, here it says, "You're wise to have purchased. We mean thank you for purchasing the Octonaut Hyperdrive from Interstellar Audio Machines. We appreciate your support. As we destroy, take over, cross that out, find our place amongst your planet's native inhabitants. We hope the Hyperdrive delivers to you plenty of out-of-this-world tone and light years of joy while you still have time. Prepare yourself, the beings from or at Interstellar." So that's cool. They're having fun with this. I already like these guys a lot. Their packaging is really cool, so you can see, very colorful. And when you open up the box, I have another box within a box. And here you go. It's like they have all these cool things in it, like buttons, stickers, even a pick I can see. They've done a great job. It's like case candy for pedals. And then when you take the box out of there, and then you open up to get to it, oh, look at that. It's got its own little comforter, which is nice. And there you have it. There it is, the Octonaut Hyperdrive. And it's solidly built. You can really feel that there's a good weight on this. It's a nice looking pedal and a great graphic because they got this crazy origin story for each of their pedals. So let me first get out of the way the details and build of these pedals. First and foremost, these pedals are designed and manufactured in the USA. All three have top-mounted jacks, an internal tone bypass switch for selecting true bypass or buffered bypass, and can be powered by a 9-volt battery or 9-volt power supply. There's no doubt there's a certain audience for these pedals, but I'd like to say regardless of who it's for, if it sounds good, it's going to be universally adored and adopted among us guitar players and even bass players. And I can tell you already, these are going to be good, if not great. So let's take a listen. So what we have here is the Octonaut Hyperdrive that is supposedly very similar, if not identical, in sound to the legendary Klon pedal, or for some of you who don't have a few $1,000s lying around, a clone pedal, but more significantly, the Octonaut Hyperdrive is a one-to-one recreation of the iconic Klon circuit. First off, I'm going to use a Strat for all of this, and it's loaded with a Mini 78 from Seymour Duncan humbucker in the bridge, and then two of their custom single coils over here in the middle and neck. So you're going to get a little best of both worlds, humbucker and single coil sounds. This is my clean from the amp. Rather clean. And then let's start with the Octonaut Hyperdrive. So automatically, once I click this on, it really boosts the signal, and I have the drive all the way off. And right now, I am right about at 11 o'clock in volume. So it does really boost, add a little oomph to your tone. So here we go. Off, and then I'll click it in. Here it is at 12. So already a really great and warm, clean boost. And I have my tone, right about 10 o'clock. Generally like that way, because as you move it up, it starts to get a little harsher. Some guys like it like that. I generally don't. I bring it right about here. And then as you move it up, you just get more of that boost. And then, let me hear it with the bridge pickup. Definitely more of that mid-range. Now let's move the drive up. I'll bring it back to about 12. And the drive is right now about 9 o'clock. So typical of usually a clone, there's not a lot of overdrive, but it just makes your amp more tube-like sounding, just has a nice roundness to it. So here we are with 9 o'clock drive. So a little bit of bite. Let's move it up, about 11. Now we get a little more grit. More of that Texas type of thing going there. I'll move it up to about noon. So now everything is just about there. I'm going to bump up the tone a bit. So just really, really nice sounding. And now I'm going to move the drive up a bit more. Now we're at about 2. Here we go. And then let's bump it to about 3 o'clock. This is where it shows a lot of teeth. I think it actually has a little more gain to it than an actual clon. And then drive full up. Here we go. That's pretty much the range of sound you can get on this. It's really a really nice sounding drive, hyperdrive. Now let's hear this in action so you really get context. I'm going to play a track behind this, and I'm just going to play over it, and I'm going to keep moving the controls so you get to really hear all the different nuance this particular pedal can get. Here we go. Clearly, the Octonaut Hyperdrive is the star of the Interstellar show, so let me tell you a few standout things about it. So for example, the gain pots are dual gauged, which is key in blending the clipping stage and the clean stage. So in essence, those two signals are blended before they hit the tone and volume. And with the gain low, you get more of a transparent clean boost. Also, if you turn the gain up, you'll get a waveform clipping, and it'll be very familiar to many who will use it this way. Also, the Hyperdrive uses rare germanium diodes for optimum tone and employs modern IC3 circuitry that converts voltages, giving the player more headroom. Finally, the Hyperdrive features an all-analog circuit design that provides pure, ultra-consistent performance. As a clean boost, or as a booster, or even added drive, there are no bad tones with the Octonaut Hyperdrive. I generally like rolling the tone down for a warmth, and this tone pot is great. Moving over, we have the Fuzzsquatch Fuzzdrive, which is based on an Electro-Harmonix Big Muff Pi. So, a recreation of that 70s circuit, but I also believe that Interstellar uses op amps for this circuit to get that singing sustain and harmonic distortion for the Fuzzsquatch. Again, I like to bring the tone back a little bit, and right now I don't have it on the tone bypass, so I have my volume up and my sustain up. So here's my signal, and here's Fuzzsquatch. And also the great thing is with these kind of pedals, you always want to kind of roll back from 10 to really get some great nuance. So all the way up at 10 here, and then pulling it back just a hair makes it really nice. Let me pull the fuzz back here. I'm going to bring it down to about noon here. Pulling it back even more to about 9. Gets a really nice sound. And here's it with the tone rolled up too. And now let's hear it with the tone bypass. So here is it with it right now, and tone bypass. So get a little more of that mid-range. Works really nice with the humbucker. Now let's hear it with the song. And finally, the Marsling Octafuzzdrive is another recreation of the famed Fox tone machine, a very thick fuzz that allows you to get that octave overtone. Here what's new for this pedal is the octave up function has a dedicated foot switch to engage it, which is great. And the second is the tone control has been modified to be more useful in its treble frequencies, along with a mid-range switch that allows you to switch between capacitors for different voicings. So this is my clean. This one is a really intense sounding octave fuzz. So what's great, of course, is having the 2-foot switch. So here's the fuzz. This one's a little more big bottomed compared to the Fuzzsquatch. So take a listen. That's with both controls, a little bit close to 1, the volume and the sustain, and the tone, of course, rolled off a bit. It starts to get gnarly as you roll up the tone. So you can hear that. I generally like to bring it back. And even if you bring down the sustain, that's about 9 o'clock, it's still a little fuzzy. You get close to the kind of the overtones you get with the Fuzzsquatch, so it's a really nice sounding fuzz as well here. A little bit of a softer thing, where the single notes kind of pop out a bit. You can almost hear that octave up is kind of trying to poke through, but the way to do that, of course, is engage it with the second foot switch. So now you'll really hear that. And you should always play right in this register from the 9th to 15th. Sounds really great with the Octavia. Here we go. And of course, another key thing, of course, is always to pull back the, your volume knob from 10 just a hair down, and you can really hear how much that really kind of changes it, makes it more fluty. Like, for example, here's on 10. Then I pull it down to about 8 or 9. It sounds real nice. Here's the mid-range. Kind of hollows it out a bit. Best to roll down your volume for the Fuzzsquatch and Marsling, especially when using the octave. And now let's hear this in the context of a song. So earlier I used a certain track to demonstrate the hyperdrive. Now let's use that same track and use all 3 of these pedals popping in and out. They really add some great texture. So let's take a listen. Interstellar audio machines have come out swinging. If anything, all 3 pedals, the Octonaut Hyperdrive, Fuzzsquatch Fuzzdrive, and Marsling Octafuzzdrive, are pure tone shapers that will enhance your sound. Of course, many will gravitate to the Octonaut Hyperdrive because it captures all the nuance in the full-body drive and transparency of the mythic Klon pedal at a fraction of the price. Not to mention, it just nails that tube-like amp tone at nearly any volume. But let's not also forget the other two pedals that provide all the fuzzed out glory of the vintage pedals they're based on, with more dynamics and liveliness. In all, Interstellar has unleashed standout stomp boxes for touch-sensitive overdrive with the Octonaut Hyperdrive, sustained and fuzzy harmonic distortion with the Fuzzsquatch Fuzzdrive, and octave blending fuzz with the Marsling Octafuzzdrive, truly making each an out-of-this-world choice in tone. Definitely check them out.